Hello, everyone. You see success everywhere you turn. On your screen, in glossy magazines, in perfectly edited videos. Mansions with marble floors, luxury cars gliding down empty roads, people standing on stages while the world cheers their names. And you're told, this is what success looks like. But let me be brutally honest with you. That's only half the picture. Because what they never show you are the shadows behind that spotlight. They don't show you the sleepless nights when your eyes burn from staring at a screen until dawn. They don't show you the friendships that fade, the family dinners you miss, the silence of being misunderstood. They don't show you the pain of rejection when your best effort is met with laughter or doubt. And yet, this is the part that matters most. Because without it, the story of success is nothing but a lie. Success is not a clean golden staircase. It's a long, brutal climb covered in broken glass and doubt. It will demand pieces of you that you never thought you could give. Here's the truth. If you chase only the shine without preparing for the struggle, success will not just escape you, it will break you. So, stay with me. Because in the next few moments, I will take you deep inside the side of success nobody wants to talk about. And once you hear it, you'll never see success the same way again. The illusion breaks. You've been sold a lie your whole life. They tell you stories of overnight success. They make it look like one video, one idea, one bold move, and suddenly you're on top of the world. And because of this illusion, you look at yourself and wonder, why not me? Why am I still stuck while others are flying? But let me break the illusion for you. Success is never overnight. What you see is only the tip of the iceberg, shining above the surface. What you don't see is the massive structure hidden beneath the water. The years of invisible struggle, the endless trial and error, the sacrifices that no camera ever records. Imagine this. You're scrolling through your phone and you see someone celebrating a big achievement. Maybe a millionaire at 25. Or a celebrity walking red carpets. The image burns into your mind. You feel envy, maybe even shame because their highlight reel makes your daily grind look meaningless. But here's the truth. What you saw was just the surface. Beneath it are nights of failure, mornings of self-doubt, and countless rejections that nearly broke them. It's like standing in front of a frozen ocean. Above the water you see sharp peaks of ice, dazzling, majestic. But beneath, hidden from your eyes, lies a mountain 10 times larger. That is success. You only witness the glittering tip. You rarely see the weight holding it up, and here's where the frustration cuts deep. You begin your own journey with passion, with fire. You dream of quick results, fast rewards. But when weeks turn into months and months into years, reality stares you in the face. Your progress feels slow. The world doesn't applaud you. You feel invisible. And in that silence, a question creeps into your mind. Maybe I'm not meant for this. Maybe I don't have what it takes. That's the danger of the illusion. It convinces you that struggle means failure, when in fact, struggle is the only proof you're on the path. The people you admire, every single one of them, walked through that same darkness. They just didn't post it on Instagram. Think about the author who writes 10 manuscripts before one gets published. The musician who plays in empty bars for years before filling a stadium. The entrepreneur who fails at 3 businesses before one idea finally takes off. None of them were overnight successes. They were years in the making miracles. But here's the twist. Most people quit in that invisible stage, when no one is watching, when no one believes. They quit because they think they're failing, when really, they were only building the part of the iceberg nobody sees. Picture yourself in this moment. You've been working, grinding, giving everything you have, but results are nowhere in sight. Your heart is heavy. Your hands feel weak. And part of you wants to walk away. But imagine if you could see beneath the water. If you could glimpse the massive structure growing piece by piece beneath the surface. You'd realize that every sleepless night, every sacrifice, every failure wasn't wasted. It was building the foundation of your success. The illusion breaks when you understand this. The journey is not glamorous and it's not instant. It's slow, it's painful, it's lonely. But it's real. And the ones who survive this invisible stage are the ones who eventually rise into the light. So the next time you feel like you're falling behind, remember the iceberg. Above the water, nothing may seem to move. But below, something powerful is forming, something unstoppable. And when the world finally sees it, they'll call it overnight success. But you'll know the truth. It was built in the dark, long before the spotlight ever found you. The lonely nights, and then come the nights, and the ones nobody talks about. You sit there long after the world has gone quiet. The city hum has faded, your phone barely lights up, and the silence around you feels heavy, almost suffocating. The glow of your screen is the only thing keeping you company. Everyone else is asleep, but you're awake, grinding, thinking, doubting. This is the part of success that looks nothing like the highlight reels. There's no applause here, no spotlight, no cheering crowds. Just you, the ticking clock, and the weight of your own thoughts. And in those moments, fear creeps in. You ask yourself, what if I'm wasting my time? What if I'm wrong? What if none of this works? And then there's the loneliness. Not just being alone in a room, but the deeper kind. The kind where even when you're surrounded by family or friends, you still feel misunderstood. They see you working late and call you obsessed. They see you skipping parties and call you boring. They see you failing and call you foolish. But what they don't see are the seeds you're planting in the dark. They don't hear the battles you fight inside your own head. They don't feel the burn in your chest when you sacrifice comfort today for a dream nobody else believes in. And it hurts, because sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who doubt you the most. You might feel betrayed when friends slowly drift away, when family says, maybe you should just settle down, when people laugh at your ambition because it doesn't fit into their version of reality. And that's when the sadness hits hardest. You realize success often begins with losing those who never believed in you. But here's the truth you need to hold on to. Loneliness is not the enemy. It is the crucible where your strength is forged. In those nights when no one claps for you, when no one sends you a message of encouragement, when no one sees your worth, those are the nights you learn to clap for yourself. Think about it. Every legend you admire, every name that inspires you walked through these same lonely corridors. They faced the silence, the doubts, the misunderstanding, and they kept walking. Because while the world slept, they were building. Picture it. Outside, the world is calm. The streets empty. But inside your room, your heart is racing, your fingers are moving, your ideas are burning. That's the contrast of greatness. It doesn't always happen in noise. Sometimes it's born in silence, and yes, it's painful. You'll question yourself. You'll miss moments with people you love. You'll wonder if the sacrifice is worth it. But every sleepless night is a brick in the foundation of your future. Every tear, every doubt, every moment of isolation is shaping you into someone unshakable. Because one day, that silence will explode into applause. One day, the same people who doubted you will say, I always knew you could do it. One day, the nights that broke you will be the reason you're strong enough to carry the weight of your success. So the next time you're alone in that quiet room, staring at your dreams while everyone else is dreaming in their sleep, remember this. The loneliness you feel is proof that you're on a different path, a harder path, but also the path that leads to something extraordinary. The inner war, but the real battle doesn't end with the lonely nights. In fact, that's only the surface. The deeper war happens inside you, in the quiet chambers of your own mind. You can feel it, can't you? That constant pulse in your chest, like a drumbeat echoing in the dark. Sometimes it grows louder when everything around you is still. Thump, thump, thump. It's your heartbeat, but it sounds more like a countdown, as if time itself is asking, are you enough? Will you ever make it? Or will you fail like everyone secretly expects you to? That's when the whispers start. Not from the outside world, but from within. A voice that says, you're a fraud. You don't belong here. You'll never be good enough. Imposter syndrome slithers through your thoughts, wrapping around every victory, choking every ounce of confidence. Every time you take a step forward, that voice drags you 2 steps back, replaying every mistake, every weakness, every doubt. You begin to imagine failure before it even arrives. The stage is set in your mind. You standing in front of the world, exposed, humiliated, defeated. And even though none of it has happened, your body reacts as if it's real, palms sweating, stomach twisting, chest tightening. That's the cruelty of the inner war. You're fighting ghosts, but they feel solid. And yet this battlefield is the most important one. Because here's the brutal truth. If you lose inside, you've already lost outside. The world can't destroy you until you've destroyed yourself. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you're standing in a dark arena. No audience, no spotlight. Just you and the shadows of your own fears. Each shadow takes a shape. One looks like failure, another looks like doubt, another like every person who told you you'd never make it. They circle you, taunting, whispering, laughing. And your heartbeat? It's pounding now, desperate, anxious, ready to give up. But then, silence. A realization cuts through the noise. You can't silence the voices by running from them. You can't escape the battlefield. The only way forward is to fight. And here's the lesson hidden in this war. Mastering your mind is the only path to mastering your life. You don't defeat fear by pretending it doesn't exist. You defeat fear by facing it head-on, by walking into the arena and saying, "I hear you, but you don't own me." Every time you push through self-doubt, every time you take action despite the whispers, you win a small battle. And over time, those small battles add up. One day you'll look around and realize the shadows don't tower over you anymore. They shrink, they weaken, they vanish. The truth nobody tells you is this: success is less about talent and more about resilience in this unseen war. It's about choosing to believe in yourself when no evidence exists, about showing up when your mind begs you to quit, about building armor from scars. So when your heartbeat races, when your thoughts turn against you, when the whispers of failure get louder, don't run. Listen, recognize them for what they are: tests. And then remind yourself, every legend I admire fought this same war. Because if you can master the battlefield within, nothing outside can ever defeat you. Public defeat and rejection, and just when you think you've gained some control over the battlefield within, life throws you into another war, this one not fought in silence, but in the open, where everyone can see. Picture it. You've worked for weeks, maybe months, pouring every ounce of yourself into something. You finally put it out there, your idea, your project, your dream. For a second you feel proud. For a second you believe maybe this is it. And then the world answers. Not with applause, not with gratitude, but with laughter, with criticism, with silence that cuts deeper than words. You see the smirks. You hear the whispers. Some laugh out loud, others hide it behind polite smiles. And there it is, in the sting of humiliation. It feels like standing under a spotlight while the crowd throws stones. Every failure amplified, every weakness exposed. Rejection doesn't just bruise your ego. It crushes your spirit. It convinces you that maybe they were right. Maybe you don't belong. Maybe you're not good enough. The voices in your head grow louder again. See? We told you. You should have quit while you were ahead. And in that moment, rejection feels final. Like the closing of a door you'll never open again. Like a stamp across your forehead that says, "Not worthy." You walk away, and the weight of shame presses down on your chest. You replay every word of criticism, every smirk, every failure in slow motion until it carves itself into your memory. But here's the secret hidden beneath the pain. Failure is not the end. It's the beginning. Think about fire. It burns, it scars, it destroys, but it also purifies. And rejection? It does the same. Every no you hear, every door slammed in your face, every laugh thrown at your expense, it's fuel. Painful fuel, yes, but fuel nonetheless, because rejection forces you to ask questions comfort never will. It makes you sharper, hungrier, more resilient. It teaches you who you are when the world turns its back. It strips away the illusions and leaves you with the truth. Either you give up here or you rise stronger than before. Every great story you know is built on rejection. Every icon you admire has been laughed at, doubted, dismissed. The difference between them and the ones who quit is simple. They didn't let rejection define them. They turned it into energy. So the next time you stand in front of the world and feel the sting of humiliation, remember this: you are not being buried. You are being planted. And the same people who laugh today will be the ones clapping tomorrow, not because they suddenly believed in you, but because you refuse to let their disbelief stop you. Rejection isn't the end of your story. It's the proof that your story has only just begun. The price you pay, and even after rejection, after humiliation, after the sting of being laughed at, you keep moving. You push forward, telling yourself you won't give up. But as the road stretches longer, another truth begins to reveal itself. Success has a price, and it is far heavier than anyone warned you about. You notice it in the little things at first. A missed dinner here, a skipped weekend there, but soon those little things add up. Birthdays come and go and your chair at the table sits empty. Family gatherings blur together in your memory because you weren't there to see them. The people you love send you messages. "We miss you. Why aren't you here?" And you type out replies you never send because what excuse could ever make sense? Relationships begin to strain. Friends stop calling because you keep saying no. Loved ones start to wonder if your dream is worth more than they are. And in the quiet moments, you wonder too. You scroll through photos of them laughing together while you sit in an empty room, the hum of your laptop, your only company. This is the cost no one puts on the glossy highlight reels. Success doesn't just demand your time. It demands pieces of your heart. You trade comfort for ambition, intimacy for discipline, warm nights of laughter for cold nights of work. And it hurts, because deep down you wish you could have both, the dream and the people. But often the path to greatness forces you to choose. You think about the empty chairs, the conversations you missed, the hugs you weren't there to give. They haunt you, and part of you feels guilty. Guilty for chasing something bigger, guilty for putting your dream above the people who stood by you. That guilt is heavy, and some nights it almost breaks you. But here's the painful, unspoken truth. To gain everything, you must be willing to give everything. Success doesn't come wrapped in balance and comfort. It comes wrapped in sacrifice, in letting go, and paying a price so steep that most people turn back before reaching the top, and yet even in that pain, there's something quietly powerful, because the very act of sacrifice sharpens you. Every birthday missed, every relationship tested, every lonely night at an empty table. They etch a reminder into your soul. This dream matters. It matters so much that you're willing to bleed for it. Picture it, a long dinner table. Laughter fills the room, glasses clink, candles flicker. But one chair is empty. That's your chair. And though your absence hurts, it also speaks. It whispers of the hours you're investing, the battles you're fighting, the vision you're building. One day that empty chair will be filled again. But this time, with someone who has earned the right to sit there, not just as another guest, but as a story of what it means to sacrifice for a dream. The price you pay is brutal, but it is also what makes the reward meaningful. Without sacrifice, victory tastes shallow. Without loss, gain feels ordinary. What makes success extraordinary is not just what you win, but what you gave up along the way. So when you see the empty chairs, when you feel the sting of distance, when you ache for the life you could have had, remind yourself, this is the price. And if you are willing to pay it, you will reach places few ever do. Because success does not come free. It demands your comfort, your time, your energy, and sometimes even your heart. And the question that echoes in the silence is simple. Are you willing to pay that price? The fire of transformation, and then, somewhere along the road, after the sleepless nights, after the crushing defeats, after the empty chairs at the table, something inside you begins to change. At first it's subtle, almost unnoticeable, but slowly you realize the pain that once weakened you is starting to shape you. The loneliness that once felt unbearable has turned into your greatest weapon. It's like watching steel being forged. Picture it, raw, unshaped metal placed into the fire. The flames roar, the heat rises, the steel glows red hot. Every strike of the hammer bends it, reshapes it, and for a moment it looks like destruction. But it's not. It's transformation. The fire doesn't destroy the steel. It makes it stronger. That's you. Every rejection was a strike of the hammer. Every sacrifice was another round in the fire. Every doubt, every lonely night, every scar, all of it was pressure. And under that pressure, you weren't breaking. You were becoming, think of a diamond. At its core, it's just carbon, ordinary and unremarkable. But under immense heat and pressure, it transforms into something unbreakable. Something radiant. That's what success does to you. It burns away the illusions, strips away the weakness, and forces you to evolve into someone who cannot be bent, cannot be broken. You notice the shift in yourself. Doubt, which once paralyzed you, now fuels your discipline. You wake up earlier, work harder, move with sharper focus, because the doubt whispers, "Prove me wrong." Loneliness, which once haunted you, now becomes your sanctuary. The silence is no longer empty. It's fertile ground where ideas grow, where vision sharpens, where you connect to your purpose without distraction. And failure, once your greatest fear, now feels like a secret ally. Each time you fall, you rise with new strength, new wisdom, new resilience. The very things you thought would destroy you have become the things that define you. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself standing in front of a fire. You feel the heat on your skin, the intensity of the flames licking at the air. Most people step back. Most people run. But not you. You step closer. Because you've learned the truth, fire doesn't only burn, it also forges. And you are willing to be forged. This is the stage of transformation nobody glamorizes because it doesn't look pretty. It's messy. It's brutal. It's full of scars and sweat and moments of breaking down. But beneath it all, you are no longer the same person who started this journey. The one who was fragile, afraid, unsure. They are gone. In their place stands someone unshakable, someone sharpened by the flames, someone who understands that the pain was never punishment. It was preparation. You begin to feel it in your heartbeat, in your steps, in the way you carry yourself. The world hasn't crowned you yet. The spotlight isn't on you yet, but inside you know you are not who you used to be. You've been transformed. And here's the paradox. You almost become grateful for the rejection, the loneliness, the failures. Because without them, you wouldn't have been pushed into the fire. Without them, you wouldn't have been forced to grow. Without them, you wouldn't carry the strength that now flows through you like molten steel cooled into unbreakable form. This is what separates the ones who quit from the ones who rise. Most see the fire and run, but a rare few, stay. They let the flames consume their comfort, their excuses, their weakness. And on the other side, they emerge changed. That's you. You've walked through the fire and you're still here. Stronger, sharper, unbreakable. The endless climb, and just when you think you've been forged by the fire, when you believe you've paid the price and earned your place, you look up. And what you see humbles you all over again, because success isn't a finish line. It isn't the ribbon at the end of a race or the trophy you lift once and hold forever. No, success is a mountain. And once you reach one peak, you realize it was only the beginning, because behind it, stretching endlessly into the clouds, are higher peaks still waiting to be climbed. At first, this realization stings. You thought there would be a moment where it all settles, where the world applauds, and you finally rest. But standing on that first summit, breathing heavy, body scarred from the climb, you see it. The path goes on. Always higher, always further. The climb never ends, and maybe that's the greatest truth about success nobody tells you, that it is not a destination to reach, but a journey to live. Every step, every struggle, every victory is part of a climb that never truly finishes. And instead of being a curse, it's a gift. Because the moment the climb ends, so does growth. You start to notice something new inside you. It's not about the medals, the applause, the recognition anymore. It's about the climb itself, the challenge, the hunger, the chance to wake up every morning and ask, how much higher can I go? Picture it, you're standing on a mountain peak. The wind is fierce, the view breathtaking. Below you lies the valley of all the battles you've fought, all the nights you endured, all the pain that transformed you. And ahead, the jagged silhouette of another peak, taller, sharper, more unforgiving. For a moment you hesitate, but then you smile. Because you know this is who you are now. The climber, the seeker, the one who keeps going when others stop. And as you climb higher, something else becomes clear. This isn't just about you anymore. It's about what you leave behind. The handholds you carve into the rock, the path you create, the stories you write with every step, they become markers for those who come after you. The climb becomes your legacy. Legacy. That's the real summit. Not the money, not the fame, not the trophies, but the lives you impact, the inspiration you leave behind, the proof that you kept climbing when it would have been easier to stop. Because one day, your body will tire. Your time will pass. But the mountain will still be there. And what will matter then is whether your journey lit the path for someone else to climb higher than you ever could. This is the endless climb. Not a race to a single finish line, but an infinite journey of growth, sacrifice, and impact. And when you understand this, you stop chasing the illusion of arrival. You stop asking, when will I finally make it? Instead, you whisper to yourself, this is it. I'm already making it. Every step, every day, every climb. So when you find yourself standing at a peak, don't look for the end. Look for the next summit. Because the higher you climb, the more you realize success was never about reaching the top. It was about becoming someone who never stops climbing. Powerful aftershock, and now, you find yourself back where it all began, standing at the crossroads. One path is smooth, ordinary, lit with comfort and ease. The other? It twists upward into the mist, jagged rocks, shadows, and silence waiting. Most people take the first road. They choose safety, familiarity, the illusion of peace. But you're staring at the second path, the uphill climb, the uncertain one. And deep down, you already know the truth. That's where your destiny lies, because success will break you before it makes you. It will strip away your excuses, your comfort, your illusions. It will test you with loneliness, with doubt, with failure that feels final. That's why so few ever taste it. Not because they're not capable, but because they turn back when the fire gets too hot, when the climb gets too steep, when the silence becomes unbearable. But not you. You've already felt the sting of rejection. You've already carried the weight of sacrifice. You've already been forged by fire. And still you rise. Still you climb. Still you whisper to yourself in the darkest nights, I will not stop. Let them laugh now. Let them doubt you. Let them call you foolish for chasing something they can't see. Because one day your silence will be louder than their voices. One day, the very people who mocked you will point to your name, your story, your legacy, and they will whisper, they did it. Against all odds, they did it. But this ending isn't really an ending at all. It's a mirror. And the question staring back at you is simple, brutal, and beautiful. Are you willing to pay the price of success? Will you take the ordinary road or will you climb? Because if you choose the climb, you'll discover what very few ever do, that success isn't about reaching the top, but about becoming unbreakable in the journey. And that, more than anything, is what makes you unforgettable. So now, as the crossroads stretches before you, you already know your answer. You tighten your grip, you lift your eyes, and you step forward, not into comfort, but into greatness. The climb awaits.